Welcome back, everyone, to episode 26 of the United States series for Power and Revolution, the 2021 edition. So let's see. Last episode in Belarus was called Testing Nuclear Weapons. So we filed a complaint with the UN. I believe it's come down to a vote because they agreed that sanctions could be put in place. And here we go. Alright, so that vote should be coming up shortly. So let's take a look at our inflation. It's going down. We want to make sure it continues to go down. So we're going to raise the interest rate to 14%. And once the inflation gets down to close to 2 or a little bit lower, then we'll lower the interest rate. So the other thing we want to do is we want to guarantee energy independence. So Alaska is rich in oil. So we're going to build about 5 shale oil wells. And all right, so that's 3, 4, and the final one. That's 5. And the other thing is we're going to create an oil tanker port to help deliver it quickly. And so we're going to spend about 20.6 billion on that. So all of this should be complete around the same time.
Our agents that have infiltrated this organization confirm their window of opportunity. It goes without saying that the operation is risky, but if successful, the short and long-term benefits are almost incalculable.
Okay, we'll try to take them out. Alright, so this should be good for our economy. President of Mali, authoritarian. Nah, it's not going to be good for us to meet with them, so we're going to refuse. Now, I believe we're going to need natural gas as well.
After a long journey of many months, the probe has just returned to Earth with invaluable samples. The airtight compartment that held them was handed over to a scientific team who will analyze them in a sealed laboratory to avoid any contamination. Their analysis will allow a better understanding of the formation of celestial bodies and our galaxy, and also perhaps lead to the discovery of molecules unknown on Earth. Meanwhile, the program director appeared before the media to praise policymakers for having taken the initiative for this long-term scientific endeavor and for having secured sufficient means to guarantee its success. He called it a great success for our nation.
Okay, so that was a huge accomplishment for our space program. Okay, so our 2 nuclear submarines are completed and they've been delivered. Now, what I was saying before is we're going to need natural gas also. So in fact, let's go and see what our usage is. Alright. Consumption is about 36. Let's see where we are in terms of natural gas production. So we're the #1 producer of natural gas, but we're still not meeting our consumption. So that's going to have to be corrected.
Your politics are on the right track. At last the fatherland is ahead who tackles the problems head on, and this is good for the troops' morale. Launch the attack, hold close your positions, the army is with you.
Alright, so alright, so let's go to construction. And we're going to do the same thing. 5 natural gas. Five natural gas wells or shale wells. So fortunately, Alaska is pretty rich in this as well. And this is probably going to spike our inflation. And let's see, 6 months. Let's see. Or 120 days, not 6 months. Let's see.
Our national team were the tournament champions. This is a much-deserved reward for our country, which shows the good health of its video gaming culture.
Okay, so we have a chance to take out the chief of staff for Belarus. We're not going to do that. We're going to hold off. Let's see what we can do to see what kind of sanctions we can put on them. I believe we already... Okay, so exports, imports. Alright, so let's go to energy. We're going to go to uranium. So they can't buy or sell that either. And let's go to oil. Alright, so we restricted them from that too.
The package has been delivered. The delivery deadlines were met. We are already taking advantage of the equipment.
Alright, so we have 21 more tanks that were produced and delivered. Because although we want to get our economy together, we also want to strengthen the military. Alright, so we came down to our vote for total economic sanctions on Belarus. Of course, they're going to be the only ones that object to it. So this is pretty much going to pass whether we vote or not, but just pour more salt on the wound by voting yes. And we'll proceed with the vote. Now, I'm surprised that Russia is even voting yes. Okay, so we'll see how that affects Belarus's economy. Because they're in a slight surplus. So we'll see what happens from there. And their leader has a 52% approval rating.
Scientific rigor has proved its superiority over doctrinal barbarity. A simulation program based on Mehring's models, the application of transactional analysis to ambush situations, a pyrotechnical approach to interpersonal dynamics in combat situations. As you can see, nothing is left to chance, which is why this operation was successful in eradicating the terrorist organization.
Okay, we got rid of the terrorist group in Georgia. Alright, so let's look at our growth. Alright, so that's starting to go up a little. Yeah, we'll have to wait for that to... So let's go to research. So we'll add 13, almost 14 billion in research. We're going to go with about 3 more multidisciplinary centers. And that should add about 6,000 more jobs. We're going to invest a little more into agriculture. So we're going to need even more supply and water supply networks. So we're just slightly above consumption in terms of our production. So let me try to figure out how much we're going to subsidize. Let's go with 1 billion more. So that gives us a little more leeway with our production. It's not much. And then, so we want more production of colza for biofuels. So let's go with an additional 3 billion. So we meet our demand and then some. And let's go with okay, let's try to help the environment a little more. So we're gonna do 1,000 more. Okay, and let's go back to industry. And let's go with, alright, so fuel cell batteries, alright, that's doing well. Household appliances, we're not producing enough. We were always behind. We started producing more, but the consumption also grew as well. So we need to try to balance that out. So we're going to give a $2 billion subsidy. Alright, and this is Georgia thanking us for getting rid of those terrorists. And speaking of terrorists, I forgot to do this. I should have done this in the very beginning. But we're going to place the other two guys under surveillance. And alright, so this war between Sudan and Ethiopia is still out of control. I mean, Sudan lost a little more, but I mean, they both took heavy losses. Looks like Ethiopia still has more soldiers than Sudan does. We're gonna break all diplomatic relations with Sudan. Still not gonna physically get involved in their war. And the only reason for that is, again, I believe I spoke on this before, but
we have
playing
strong
models.
suspicions that this organization is preparing to carry out an attack in the next few hours.
Alright, I knew that was going to happen. Previous models, Japan kicks us out of, kicks our military out of their country. And if we don't get out in time, they basically declare war on us. But we need Japan, not just for China, but for North Korea.
The bill has been voted on and the law has been...
So that's the reason why we're not really getting involved. And really, so far during this series, I've done pretty well with not really declaring war on anyone, with the exception of I believe it's the Mahadin that was in Afghanistan. Declared war on them and got them out of Afghanistan altogether. So let's go to the terrorist group and try to figure out who it is that is planning the attack. Bought a mini camera, bought a stick. I think this may be the person. I was right. Lucked out on that.
We've proceeded to discreetly arrest this suspect, who is now being placed in isolation. It seems we were right. This was the head of the organization, as confirmed by evidence taken from his computer. It seems that he was preparing to coordinate a massive operation. We don't have all the details, but the police department's anti-terrorism unit has been placed on high alert. The Department of the Interior will inform you of events as they happen.
Take a look at growth. A little unsteady, and because of all the projects we just did, let's raise that up. Let's raise that up another %. Let's take a look at unemployment. Alright, so let's drop the real estate tax by 1%. Let's increase gambling tax. That's not going to pass.
The preparations are complete. The whole country is preparing to joyfully celebrate this occasion.
Our infiltrated scientific agents inform me that they could be in a situation to provoke a major nuclear accident. This target would be their privileged target. The induced disruption, along with the collateral effects due to the dispersion of radioactive material, could reach a level of 13.6 on a scale of 10, according to a modeling that I performed based on the curve of Bill Chernow. Do you wish to confirm the launch of this operation?
Let's go for it. We've been pretty successful with that. In all honesty, all these countries should basically be declaring war on me for creating all these nuclear accidents. I mean, Pakistan, 2 in Iran. I have a feeling this is going to be successful too.
In light of recent events, we'll proceed to cross-check all our intelligence and quickly update the file. Some suspects will be removed.
So if this is successful, I mean, really, real life, Russia would be declaring war on us for that. Well, at least once they were able to prove it. And, alright, so we're getting our public debt down. Surplus increased. Do I really want to do that? Let's invest a little more in higher education. So we're going to be spending about 3.4 billion on that project. All right, research. All right, let's take a look at our military. All right, so we're almost at our objective for missiles. We wanted to stockpile 225,270. We're at 224, 128. And our commandos are at our objective, and pretty close with our career soldiers too. Alright, so Belarus is still at it. I don't know what else we can do besides going to war with them, which, again, I don't want to do. So how about, since we took out that terrorist group in Georgia, we're gonna bump them up to 100, and I'm gonna spend 174 million on new international agents. Let's increase our cyber security, spending about 5.4 billion.
Our agents that have infiltrated this organization confirm their window of opportunity. It goes without saying that the operation is risky, but if successful, the short and long-term benefits are almost incalculable.
Alright, we're gonna go for it and see how that pans out. Let's look at that inflation. It's still going down. It's slowed up some, obviously, but that's because of all the newer projects I conducted. People living below the poverty level, it's improved. It's not really it's not really where I want to be. I know I can get that down lower, but I'm more concerned about
The bill has been voted on.
our debt. The end of the next quarter, we're going to pay off Japan. Alright, we have 6 submarines that were
Funeral
delivered.
will take place next week. Do you want to attend the ceremony?
Alright, let's take a look at this. Alright, let's take a look at Libya. Alright, so Libya is actually winning now. Okay, so I think I know what we'll do to Belarus is we'll launch a cyber attack.
The preparations are complete. The whole country.
Duly noted. Copy that.
Alright, let's take a look at our space program. Alright, so that's fine. Oh, okay, it's Orion that... So... let's increase funding by 5 billion. And then... okay, so that helped. Discoveries, programs.
We rocked it.
Okay, so that cyber attack
Jokes of the human.
just went through.
Fabulous finale!
The target was taken successfully. Our men are on site and away from radiation, leaving the local authorities, if I may, to wade through the beck rolls. Given initial reports, I would revise my first projection. I reassessed the weighted impact of the extent of panic on the grounds by at least 2.5 points.
Okay, so that was successful, and so was the attack on Russia. So it's going to have a high impact on country. So I think I'm going to end this episode. Hopefully I won't take as long with the future videos. And I will see you soon. Again, thank you for the support. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I see there's been an influx of new subscribers, so I just want to say thank you. Hopefully I won't disappoint. And again, please click the like if you haven't already. And I will see you soon.